Hello, I'm Matt and welcome to Badger Workshop. I've received a commission to make a bird table and the client would like it mostly made out of reclaimed materials. I'm going to make it out of oak because that's going to look great and it'll weather well outside. The first job I'm going to do is make a post. So I've got this oak board, which unfortunately is not reclaimed, that I've just cut down roughly to size, and then I can get it planed and squared up. I can then take it over to the table saw and get it ripped in half. Then I can get them thicknessed to clean up that final surface. So I want to make a square post for this bird table, so these two bits I'm going to glue together. I get some waterproof PVA applied and spread out, the two bits glued together and then clamped up. When it's fully dried, I can then get the clamps off, take it back over to the thicknesser and run it through to square it up. I can then take it over to the table saw and get the ends of it squared up, and while I'm here I cut down some other bits of those planks to use as some feet for this. I want the shape of the feet to be a little bit more interesting, so I tilt my mitre gauge over all the way to 60 degrees and then cut a little angle at the end of each one. I'm going to attach these to the post using some glue and decking screws. So first I drill and countersink some holes and then give everything a sand down. I get the glue applied, one of the feet put on, making sure it's square to the post, and then I can get some screws driven into place. Now I can just work my way around, getting one on all four sides. So that's the base about done, but now I'm going to need something to go on top of it. So it's into the garage to look through my scrap pile, and what I've got is some bits of oak beam that came out of an old building that burnt down. Now I can really use this bandsaw for the first time and testing out really its maximum capacity to cut down some of these bits of beam. To clean off all the saw marks, I just run them through the thicknesser. The edges of these boards weren't straight, so I could have used the planer, but I just ripped a little slither off with the track saw. Now I can get two of these glued together, and these are going to be the table for the birds to feed off. When the glue's dried, I take it over to the table saw and get it cut down so it's a square platform. So I'm going to need a way of attaching it to this post. So I've got some scraps I'm just going to cut down to make a little square box that's going to go round that post. I get some holes drilled and countersunk along the edges, then I can get some glue on and get it screwed together. To give it all a clean up, I take it over to the Clark belt sander and give it a sand down. So now you can see how it's going to work. It's just going to fit on there perfectly. So now I need to get it attached to the table. So I get it positioned right in the centre and mark out where it needs to go. Then I get some pilot holes drilled for it. I get some glue applied, get it positioned, and then I can drive some screws through the table down into it. Now I don't want any of the bird's food to fall off this table, so I've cut down some pieces to act as sides. I get some drainage holes drilled along the sides, and then I can get them attached. I'm going to attach the sides with some nails, and I've got some brass ones, as steel ones would rust and they stain oak. I get some glue applied to the edges, then the sides nailed into place. Now to start on the little roof structure. So I'm going to do a double pitched roof. So I get that marked out and then cut out on the bandsaw. With 2 bits cut out, I can then take them over to the sander and clean them up. I need something to hold this roof up, and I'm going to go for posts, a bit like the Colosseum, because these are going to be some fancy birds. I've cut down some oak dowels, and they're going to go into these blocks of wood at the top and the bottom to support them. They're 8mm dowels, so I get 5 8mm holes drilled on both pieces, some glue in, and then the dowels put into place. With 2 of these pieces made, I can then get them glued and clamped onto the end of the roof. When they've had a chance to dry, I can get them positioned, marked out, get some pilot holes drilled, some glue applied, then positioned and some screws driven in from the underside. I've got some thin bits of oak I've been saving to use on a project one day, so I think they're going to make perfect tiles for this. So I just get them attached with some more brass nails. To finish the whole thing, I'm not going to use some badger wax for once, because I don't think it'd be great for the outside, but some tung oil will be. So I get a couple of coats of this applied. When the oil's had a few days to dry, I can get it taken outside. So I've made it in 2 pieces so it can be transported in the back of the car easily. Then they can just slot together and 1 screw can be driven in just to lock them together. So that's it all done. I hope the customers are happy, but more importantly, I hope the birds are happy with their new place to have dinner. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my patrons, and please subscribe for more videos.